Hey, it's Jeff. Welcome back. Let's get started. All right, we're in check. Question is, do we take? Do we move somewhere else? Maybe the difficult part of position is after we take, and it should just be no-brainer to take. But I'm gonna take a little bit of time. So king takes h2. Let's say queen h4, king g1, rook h5, threatening mate. Play something like f3. Queen h2, king f1, queen h1, king e2. Queen takes g2, king d3. And I think we're getting out of a lot of their checks. After king takes h2, they also have queen e5. But we probably have an easier time escaping the checks there, like g3, and after queen h5, king g2. And the rook on d1 is protected by our queen. Although they can do rook takes b5. If they do rook takes b5, like if queen takes b5 back, they have queen takes d1, and maybe they're getting an even position. But as long as the queen isn't on that dark diagonal, we can do rook d8 check, intermediate, and king g7, then take the rook. And then we're up a rook. So let's see. So I think we're just going to go king h2, and we'll see how that plays out. Because it can't be anything else, really. Like, you're just giving them too much material. They do go for this check. Now, okay, so they're also threatening to take here on b5. Because we just have one defender and they have two attackers. So does it matter where we go? We can maybe play f4. That'll threaten the queen. Because if we do something passive like king g1, they take rook takes b5. And now we don't have a good advantage. So the only possible counter attack, unless rook d8 first makes sense for some reason. I would hope not. But f4 here, then if rook takes b5, then we take their queen. And if they take our queen, we take back, and then we're up a rook. So that's fine. And after f5, the only other move is queen h5 check. And after queen h5 check, yeah, I don't like that as much. Because after f4, queen h5, king g1, they can still take that bishop again. So I'm a little confused about what we're trying to do. Wait, can we go bishop e2 somewhere? But I feel like we're still hanging the bishop. So like f4, queen h5, check. Oh no, we can't. We're in check. Yeah, this one was the difficult part, is after you take the bishop, what happens? So f4 attacks the queen, but leaves them queen h5 check. Is there really anything else we can do? we're in check, so we have to block it somehow or move out the way. So we'll just take the most active defense. Okay, that was it, but I'm very confused because after queen h5, move out the way, they take. Where is our win here exactly? And I do see attack for extra to queen h5. So let's take a look at the analysis board. And let me see, what were the moves? This is what I want to look at. So actually king g3 here. And then after rook takes b5, we have rook d8 check, king g7, queen c3. Yeah, I thought of something like this, but I didn't really see how we were doing anything. So let's say f6 here, rook d7, king h6, queen takes. We're threatening some stuff. If they go here immediately, rook g8, only move, that'll win. And this also threatens mate. They have stuff like rook g5, we take, they take, but then we're up material. So that was actually really tough for its rating, I think. So out of all these, but when you're in check and you gotta do something, a lot of moves seem kind of similar, but then one kind of has a little extra something. Like this is just attacking the queen. So like I said, if you go queen here, they just take and they're doing okay. But if you go here and they take, then you can do this and you're winning. So that was the main difference that you can see in those moves. But I did see that after this move, it looks like they still keep the same threat, and I didn't really know 100% how to deal with it. But apparently, because by taking, they leave this diagonal, and you can set up these mating nets. Like it would be hard for me to see some of these in advance. Like if they gave me the puzzle at this point, I'd probably find it through elimination, but trying to calculate from before and then also take this into consideration was pretty difficult for me. But it does look completely logical now that I see it. So if I went over this a few times, I'd be able to see this more often. It was pretty instructive, although it didn't really test us on the true difficulty of the puzzle. Okay. Oh wait, let me go back to the analysis board. And there are 6 mistakes. So 2 king g1 played 22,000 times. Wait, king g2? Oh, king g1. So yeah, a lot of people fell into this, and the difference is after this rook check, you don't have anything else on this diagonal since the queen is here. And 2 g3 played 230 times. And so this is similar. Like I said, you allow this, and now again, it's pretty much the same reason. You don't have this diagonal anymore. And then 1 king f1. So this was a situation where they were suspicious of taking the bishop, because in a lot of puzzles, when you just take the obvious material, it can be wrong because they have some type of counterplay. But in this situation, it's just an even position. So you no longer have any tactics. You're not attacking the bishop, you're not attacking the rook, you're not attacking the queen, and the king has room. You can't even go rook d8 here. So there's really nothing else going for white. So it's like, you kind of just have to take the bishop, like even if you don't know exactly what's going on. if you know that all the other moves that don't give up the bishop give you absolutely no tactical chances, then you know you just have to take the bishop and then see what they reply and then start the real tactic from there. Okay. We'll do another one. And yeah, they moved pawns in front of the king. And our queen is on the same, always forget, rank or file. Second rank. So the same rank as our queen. So I would always just think their king is exposed. But we do have these passed pawns. I don't know if it will really be about pushing them. If it is, it would have to be b3 because this one is harder to stop and is protected by our queen all the way through. Like the a pawn would probably be too slow. So if we're going to try to push pawns to promote, I would be calculating b3 first. But other than that, do we have any checkmating attacks against their king at all? Something like bishop e4. They could just take on e4 with the queen. This knight is attacked. Didn't notice that. And stuff like knight f4, the queen could just take. They also have their own passed pawn. And this isn't really a defensive tactic, so we do have to do our own stuff. If we have two queens, we probably will just win somehow. Although if they take on h5 and then take on g6, then they have potential to eventually get back rank mate on us or promote this pawn. So let's just calculate the pawn race, because they can't stop it with their dark square bishops. The only thing they could do would be to interfere with the light square bishop. But if b3, they can do something like bishop d5, but no, they can't move that bishop because it's pinned. So really, after b3, we just have to calculate if they push the e-pawn or if they try to take and checkmate us. Well, we might be in time. So b3, e6, b2, e7. We make a queen, they make a queen, we can take with the bishop. Okay, and then if b3, they take our knight, b2, they take our bishop, we make a queen. They don't have, like, their queen is just off from being able to reach the back rank and checkmate us, so I'll push the pawn. They might give up their queen for the pawn, I don't know. Okay, so they went for this one. Now, since we have a chance, we can decide, do we really have to allow the bishop to be taken, or is there something else that's better? Like, do we just take the h-pawn with our bishop? Like, do we have to allow them to do all these other things? And I don't know. So a b2, and they take our bishop. We make a queen. I really don't know. Let's say we take bishop takes h5, and they go e6. Then we go b2, they go e7. We make a queen. They go queen e6. I see no harm in taking the h-pawn and then pushing the b-pawn. But I also feel like just pushing the b-pawn still gives us winning chances. I'm going to take the h-pawn. Oh no. So we were just supposed to keep pushing. Okay, analysis board. Boy, so what was their first move? Okay, the first move was this. And then, okay, so I took here. they can go queen e4. Wait, they can go queen e4. Oh, they couldn't go queen e4 before because the bishop was guarding it, so the bishop had to be a sacrifice. So once you go here, queen e4 means you can't push the pawn because they take. And if you take here, the bishop is guarding that square. And you could try pushing the other bishop, the other pawn, but they can, I don't know, but they're able to stop stuff. So, but it's very clear to me that after this move, we're not promoting this pawn as easily anymore. So yeah, the difference between going here and taking here is actually huge because of this defensive resource. So it doesn't exist in this position because you can just take. So that was actually extremely instructive. So I guess that's going to be the most common mistake. So actually no, so one bishop e4 played 102 times. So people went bishop e4 here, but the queen can take, and this is actually not winning. We do have these passed pawns, but they have the bishop pair and they can easily stop them, plus our knight's attacked. And it doesn't even have any, okay, it does have this square, but this isn't quite a win for black. It's just very good for white. And 2 bishop takes h5 played 35 times. So yes, that was my mistake, where you just allow this. And not many more mistakes after that. There was one knight f4, played 12 times. Knight f4. Yeah, this just gives up the knight. And you could try to push this pawn. And let's say you try to go here. Bishop d4. Okay, so eventually get their bishop out and have a good attack against you, probably. And also bishop d4 makes it so when you promote this pawn, well, one, you just get checkmated, but also they could take the pawn. So yeah, so knight f4 just gives up the piece. It is protecting the piece that was attacked in a way, but not really because it can just be taken by their queen. Okay, so 1 win and 1 loss. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.